The truth is far darker than you've ever dared to imagine. A woman can forsake everything, her principles, her kin, even her own children, if she perceives the man before her as potent enough to tame her turmoil. This isn't a fairy tale. It's biology. It's history. In ancient conflicts, when a tribe fell, women didn't flee. They adjusted. They wed their conquerors and bore their heirs, not out of desire, but because survival isn't emotional. The feminine instinct isn't tethered to ethics. It's anchored to power. She might label you toxic, yet if you exude dominance, if your stillness outmatches her storm, she will yield, not from love, but from something rawer, something she can't grasp. But you must. Freud didn't aim to demean women. He sought to unravel them. He believed every choice, every feeling, every allure masked a battle between what a woman craves and what she's been conditioned to seek. She doesn't fully comprehend why danger draws her in, why safety repels her, why she rejects the man offering calm, but surrenders to the one who unsettles her mind. Freud saw this not as chaos, but as a system. Her ID, her primal essence, yearns for power, protection, pleasure. It doesn't care about your kindness or morality. It only asks, can he master my storm? Her superego, shaped by culture, parents' wounds, condemns that desire, calls it wrong. Caught between these forces, her ego struggles to endure. That's why she's warm one moment, cold the next. Why she craves you, then lashes out. Why she seems erratic, yet commands your focus. Deep in her unconscious love isn't peace, it's power. If you miss this, you'll mistake her challenges for affection, her silence for enigma, her turmoil for innocence, and you'll overlook the truth she'll never voice. She doesn't want safety. She wants to be claimed. Freud didn't begin as a maverick. He started as a physician seeking to understand human suffering. But the deeper he probed the mind, the more unsettling the truths he found, especially about women. He distrusted appearances, not smiles, not politeness, not even tears. What captivated Freud was the unconscious, the silent part of the mind that acts without logic, desires without consent. When he studied female desire, not what women claimed to want, but what they gravitated toward, he uncovered something that shattered romantic ideals. It wasn't tender, it wasn't gentle, it was primal, rooted in survival and submission to strength. Freud observed women bypass kind men to obsess over those who stirred shame, fear, or yearning. Their words clashed with their instincts. Their guilt couldn't halt their patterns. He called it repression, a defense that buries truths the mind can't face. Women were hiding their own reality, and society hated them. When Freud dared to reveal this, the world recoiled. He was ridiculed, silenced, despised, not because he was wrong, but because he was too right. No one, not even the woman herself, wants to confess what truly drives her. Think she's ignoring you? That her silence signals disinterest? Freud would say this isn't about you. It's her mind shielding itself from truths too heavy to bear. Her silence isn't emptiness. It's a calculated response from her unconscious, a defense. When her ID, her primal hunger for connection stirs, it terrifies her, because deep within, the little girl she once was still lingers. That girl learned early, love leads to abandonment. Maybe she wept alone, unanswered. Maybe she reached for her father and met emotional void. That pain didn't fade. It sank into her unconscious. Now, as an adult, that hurt masks itself as control, whispering, withdraw before he gets too close. So when you text and she doesn't reply, It still watches your stories, lingers in your orbit. Know you haven't lost her interest. You've triggered her buried wounds. This is repression at work. Her mind buries the part of her that longs for you, because her superego warns that closeness is peril. Her ego mediates, don't respond, don't feel, stay in control. She doesn't vanish to wound you. She vanishes to protect the fragile system keeping her intact. You're not facing a woman, you're facing her history. Patterns older than your name and her contacts, echoes of nights she cried alone, vowing never again. Here's the tragic irony. The more authentic you are, the more threatening you seem to her unconscious. You bring warmth, but her nervous system expects cold. You offer presence, but her mind was shaped by absence. Don't take her silence personally. It's a sign of her inner battle. When a woman withdraws without cause, it's not always fear of you. It's fear of what you awaken. Her smile lingers. Her body language pulls you in. But when you step closer, she retreats. She teases, hints, then withdraws, leaving you caught between invitation and rejection. This isn't immaturity. It's psychological warfare. Freud saw it before dating apps existed, calling it the clash between ID and superego. The ID craves thrill, connection, surrender, dominance. It doesn't care about morality or timing. But the superego judges every impulse, whispering shame. Be proper. Don't yield. So her mind fractures. This split fuels sexual manipulation, not always deliberate, but always strategic. As a child, she learned attention meant survival. Being desirable meant safety. But full surrender, that was punished. Now, as an adult, she seduces without intent. The subtle touch, the slow blink, the revealing attire. It sparks your masculine pursuit. She wants to be desired, not owned. Seen, not claimed. Freud called this reaction formation, expressing the opposite of true feelings to protect oneself. She may crave closeness, but acts distant. She may feel desire, but speaks of purity. Admitting the truth would shatter her control. You see her as hot and cold, but she's torn between hunger and fear. Her ego, caught in the middle, says, flirt, but don't commit. Stay in power. When you lean in, her unconscious screams, run. You can't win by chasing her body. You'll lose your soul. But if you see the performance without reacting, you become untouchable. A woman can sway the man who desires her, but she can't control the man who knows himself. That terrifies her more than love ever could. You think she's unique because she's elusive, because she seems independent. But what you feel isn't attraction, it's scarcity. Freud would say this isn't about her, it's about what she represents to your unconscious, the love you never received. When a woman grows distant, your eye panics, urging, don't lose her, prove your worth. But that's not love, it's lack. Maybe your mother's affection was inconsistent, loving one moment, cold the next. That wired your nervous system to chase approval, to see love as something to earn. So when a woman mirrors that distance, your unconscious says, this is home. You fall into the trap, not because she's rare, but because her behavior reopens old wounds. Her silence becomes a mirror of every moment you felt unseen as a boy. You don't just want her attention, you want healing. But the more scarce she becomes, the more valuable she feels, not because she's unique, but because your brain equates absence with worth. Freud called this displacement. You're not chasing her, but the ghost of your past. She senses this power, even unconsciously. When she withholds, your masculinity, Muhammad. The truth is darker than you've ever imagined. A woman can betray everything, her values, her family, even her children, if she believes the man before her is powerful enough to master her chaos. This isn't fantasy, it's biology, it's history. In ancient wars, conquered women didn't flee, they adapted, marrying their enemies and bearing their heirs, not from desire, but because survival isn't sentimental. The feminine instinct isn't tied to morals, it's tied to power. She might call you toxic, but if you radiate dominance, if your silence outweighs her storm, she will submit, not from love,